Hey, Pink Panther. Let me fix my thing right quick. Because I don't want a little weird troll stuff going on. Try to see if my little light can help me out a little bit. I've been doing good. I can't complain. Oh, Lord. There we go. That's better. I don't gotta have my hot ass light on, girl. Let me take this off. Okay. So, yesterday, right? I want to say, let me go to this dude page, Aaron. Who's Aaron talked about, and I like how he word things. I ain't gonna lie, his voice is annoying, but he was talking about, dang, what is it? It was just yesterday. Oh, look like some more stuff I need to look at. Hold up. There it is. No, that's not it. XAI to bring Elon Musk's Grok. That ain't it. That ain't it. I don't see it anymore. Okay, maybe I missed it. Yeah. Texas Republicans on a call today. No, that ain't it. But anyway, basically, it was talking about how the ruling stood for, you know, Donald Trump to be able to basically continue to dismantle the Department of Education, right? So me being nosy, I took it to Chat GPT and I went to my homegirl and this was she told me. Well, this I'm gonna go in and have like basically ask the same question that I asked the other day because I was trying to understand and get her to break it down to me in layman's terms, like how is this going to affect everything? Because um, the income driven plan is gone, like for people that got student loans, right? And I was like, okay, so this like, and I ain't trying to be funny. This is like gonna force a lot of people's hands because it's like, okay, you have to like literally restructure your personal business because if you have any type of business ties, you're gonna need it to be able to keep playing the game. Basically, the whole credit system is a game, right? You got to um, be able to participate. So I'm sitting there and I was like, you know what? The first question I asked, and this is how I initiated, and this is how I found out all the stuff that I found out. My question was, what happens now that Trump was able to dismantle the Department of Education? And it says, as of July 2020, now, it says he has not officially dismantled the U.S. Department of Education, but there has been a remove push from his campaign and supporters to shrink or eliminate it if he wins a second term. And I was like, okay, that's strange. Because sometimes, chat don't be all the way there. And I'd be like, oh, okay, let me be patient with it. Let me be patient. Because I have one trained for other stuff, but overall, it normally does a really good thing. It says what Trump has said or proposed. This is what is up here. It says Trump and some conservatives have long targeted the Department of Education for the chopping block. Basically, the argument that usually happens is that it's bloated and bureaucratic. Why couldn't I say that? Let me drink some more damn coffee right quick. It said the federal government shouldn't indoctrinate students, which I do agree. However, I'm going to keep reading. It says during his current campaign and rallies, Trump has said he wants to abolish and greatly weaken the Department of Education. He would move education decisions to the state and local level. That's a lot of, a lot of people talk about that. And he wants to cut federal influence over curriculum topics, including DEI, LGBTQ, history, and racial equality programs. And I was like, okay, okay. Um, so the main problem was a lot of people like, well, how he able to do that? Because he didn't create it. Like, he got to do, what I'm saying? Don't he got to go through the, what I'm saying? Other people, right? So basically, Chat said, um, can he actually dismantle the department? It says not overnight. Overnight. Here's how. Congress created it in 1979, so only Congress can fully dismantle it. He would need the House and Senate to pass a law doing so. So in my head, I'm like, damn. So with him being able to go to a higher court and winning that ruling, I'm pretty sure that's what he headed next, right? Okay, so basically, it says he can, however, slash his budget through the Office of Management and Budget, weaken its power through executive orders, um, move programs to other departments like HHS for student loans, or labor for forest work. So one of the ways to dismantle it was a lot of the stuff that he was doing. Right? How is he able without going through Congress? Right. So basically, this is the information that what I was really like when I asked my first initial to chat. I was trying to understand what did that ruling mean, because I was like, girl, I'm gonna need you to break it down in layman's terms, because your girl, what I'm saying, I need to be able to pick up bits and pieces, because everything I really don't care about, but it is certain things that I do care about. So I was wondering I was like, well, how is he able to do this? So basically, if you look at it, no, he can't full on make that decision. Well, can't technically dismantle it. He can be strategic and have a plan in how to cripple it and break it apart, in my opinion. Because here it says he can, however, slash the budget, meaning that's what he has been doing. He's been getting rid of, he's been slashing the budgets. He's been making it hard for a lot of people. Um, Weaken his power through executive orders. I did say that. So a lot of executive orders he can use, in attempts to continue to do it. Um, when it says move programs, so like you think about it, the student loan program was moved over to SBA. I was like, what the hell student loans got to do with SBA? And I'm not gonna hold you, for years, oh my gosh, like, you know how like when you have a full circle moment and you think about so many things and how everything was divinely ordered, and you be like, dang, that's why that happened. That's why this is like one of those moments for me. I ain't gonna lie, because this a big thing. For many years, even with having the opportunity to go to school, having the opportunity to go be a part of different companies, organizations, it was like, this ain't where I want to stay. I always had one of my own program, or either something of that nature, right? Okay. So because realistically, I was able to see what was working and was not working the moment I walked through the door. So a lot of times, because there was no actual position for me to grow into in certain places, it was more so like the director would low key, because they didn't know what the fuck they was doing, but they know they'd come to me with honest feedback, and the feedback would never be fluffed, and it wasn't critical, but it was helpful, if that makes sense. And it made it I guess you could say a little bit easier for a struggling raggedy program that they had no hope for. And it was like a whole test. It was a pilot. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, oh my God, it makes sense. Okay, so I was like, and I'm not gonna lie, when he moved the loans over to SBA, I was like, how is he doing this? Because that's the bulk of the debt. And we all know that debt basically fuels everything that's moving. It's sad, it's jacked up, but it do. But anyway, so it says fewer. Another thing that he can do is defund enforcement arms like those monitoring civil rights and education. So think about the different departments within education that he dismantled intentionally, because he knew, that's the thing, he knew he could not do it that way. He knew he could not just do everything by himself. He knew that much. He knew that much. He knew he could not do everything by himself. So strategically, he had all of that done. So now the next topic, it says, if it happens, here's what could change. If Trump succeeds in dismantling and gutting the Department of Education, here's what that could mean. And I know it's a lot of different areas that are very uncomfortable for people. This one right here, it breaks down what happens with K through 12. It talks about parents and families, right? So under K through 12, it says the states would have more control over the curriculum standards and funding, which is it's already interesting, because when you allow the state to make different decisions, it's going to benefit that state, right? I have noticed that a lot, well, for instance, this state has already added, and I don't know if it's for 25 through 26 school year. It might start in year 26. I'm not sure. I think it starts. I'm not sure. But the SOL testing, or whatever the standardized testing is for that state, counts 10% for the child's grade. I was like, what? But, this is what I can say. If the state does not have to answer to the feds as it relates to money being involved in their curriculum, that gives them a little bit more leeway in making a more effective curriculum. Meaning, if the curriculum is more effective and not, I can't even really say that. If it is not the one that they've been using for years to empower certain demographics, um, it might be a thing. It might be a thing if they do it the right way. It could be a thing if they, like, think about the curriculum that they had back when I was in school. Okay, I don't plan. I mean, of course, we were being prepared for a different world, so no, the curriculum would be different. I get it. But what I'm saying is, they spent a lot of time weaponizing the IEPs and the 504s when they knew they wasn't teaching nothing. I'm gonna leave it alone. I digress. Um, it says federal protections like Um, oh, Title Nine. I didn't know it was a Title Nine. Would be weakened. Basically, the people that have classes. Hey, Dean, how you doing? So basically, the people that I have in class, well, the Title Nine federal protections will be removed, meaning they will not have any more gender equality, gender based, nothing going on up in people's schools. So basically, in my opinion, you will not have any people dressed strangely pulling your kids out of the classroom teaching about sexuality. I'm gonna leave that alone. Um, it says fewer federal grants, especially for disadvantaged schools and special education. So a lot of those will go, be fewer. If he's able to dismantle it, and that's why it's so the reaction is so wide so far. I've been missing your live. I ain't been live lately. I ain't been live. I've been trying to regroup and get myself together. I'm gonna get into that soon. I'm gonna get into what I had to do, but I had to do it. What's up, Reba? I had to do it, and all of it happened in divine timing, because if not, I would not be able to participate in what's getting ready to come up. Um, so now, if he's able to dismantle it, let me get back into that. So with the higher education, student loans oversight could shift or vanish. 9 times out of 10, I don't ever see them. Yeah, you know what? I ain't put a short up in like almost a week. Yeah, I've been over on Tiki. I've been on TikTok every now and then. But I don't know. I don't know. I had a lot of paperwork to file. So I was playing attorney as well. I'm gonna get into that. That might have to be a separate video though. I was playing attorney, and I was, doing a lot of stuff with that. So it says also with higher education, it says colleges might see less regulation or accreditation, diversity programs, and gender-based protections. Also, for-profit colleges could see a comeback with fewer penalties or restrictions. Okay, so a lot that would basically knock out a lot of those nonprofit colleges. Yep, uh-huh. Yep, I'm over there. But I haven't posted more over there, I'm not gonna lie. I have. I needed to I don't know. It's a lot like doing like more than one. So I kind of tried to focus on one. Then I had to go do all this paperwork. And I was like, okay, I got to. The paperwork was so time consuming. I had to do it. I had to do it. Okay, so what could happen to families? Uh, More parents and families could be more controlled locally, but it depends on your state. Some states may restrict or ban certain teachings as far as race, gender, and history. Other may expand it. Special education and disability rights may get more complicated if federal standards vanish. So then my chat was like real talk. I was like, okay, shit, let me find out. It said real talk, what it means for you. Whether you're a parent, educator, or student, your experience will become more state dependent. This could widen disparities between wealthy versus poor districts, red versus blue states, traditional versus progressive curriculum. Or if you rely on federal grants, civil rights protections, loan forgiveness programs, you'll just need to keep a close eye on what it. You know what? I ain't made none in a while. I really need to go to the international store. That was something I needed to do. I need to go to the international store because I want to check out what they have. Um, and then I have like I need to refill my jars and get me some more to fill it, put in my glass jars. I'm gonna have to write. Let me write that down. It's just so far, girl. Girl, these people driving is ghetto. Put that, I'm gonna have to go. I'm trying to think of a good time to go. I need to see what time they open. It really ain't no good time right now. It's just terrible. I hate it. Like the people just so reckless and just wild. Like I can't even think of like. I mean, they literally like flipping their cars over and stuff. Girl, it's just if I had like a reliable like distributor, I would source it out. Um, okay, so basically, this is what's gonna go down. Here's what's it says. What's actually happened? A realignment in motion. So, what's going on behind the scenes? New pilot programs plus experimental pathways are being explored where student loan borrowers who start businesses or side hustles may qualify for relief or restructuring through SBA like models. I said, say what? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I was so hyped. I was so hyped. It says now the private oh yeah, also it says loan forgiveness or grants may be tied to entrepreneurship or public service. So, in essence, if you look at how the SB, like how student loans were put over to the SBA, I just never, like, I was trying to understand. I was like, why would they do that? Like, that makes no sense because, because a lot of people started disputing. They started like, yo, I didn't sign up to da 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 da. They was going in. They was even talking about a class action lawsuit. But realistically, one of the things that I always said, and I would tell like different students that I would encounter because where I live, I don't live too far from Hampton University. I really didn't talk too much to the Christopher Newport kids because they were kind of like their family was well established. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna leave that. But a lot of the Hampton University students, they will be like a diverse set of students. Like they'll look like me, but they come from different walks of lives. But I will always encourage them to find a way to use, whatever they learned, get a certificate, certification, whatever it is, just be at the top of whatever your game is. Because you're gonna be able to use that to your advantage. Don't always use it to look for a job. You gotta find out how to create a job. Baby, when I tell you the whole purpose of him doing all this was to build back the small businesses because you think about essentially that's what fueled the nation. That's what we had. We had a lot of small businesses. We were very localized. We had like think about back in the day, whatever neighborhood you was in, you had a black cleaner, you had some black shoe shiners, you had the black grocery store. You had more in your community than what you have now. As far as you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna leave it there. And in my opinion, I ain't gonna talk about that. I ain't gonna talk about it because I don't know who gonna see this later. And I ain't trying to. Yeah, I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't trying to be funny. I will leave that alone. Um, trying to stay focused. I'm trying. So essentially, there with that being, that's why I did see that they did come up with two different plans for like people to pay their stuff, which are just astronomical and makes no sense. And I was like, Lord, what is he trying to tank their damn credit before all of these programs and initiatives come out? I don't know. But I'm still gonna be filing documentation. I'm gonna get into that another video. because that's crazy. That's crazy in itself. But um so basically the bottom line is student loans are slowly being reframed as an economic burden that affects entrepreneurship. Because if you think about it, the previous system no longer worked. You have to also examine a lot of factors. Think about people. Think about the first set of people that actually like work in certain areas, right? They're not retiring no time soon. So how does a person continue to have people, more and more people go to school, come out with no jobs? Because nobody retires. They keep moving up the retirement age, and it's people that are literally not budging and making it harder for other people. And then you have to factor in with the opportunities that are available, depending on where you are. You have to be a part of this organization, you have to be a part of that organization, which takes more off the table. So with that being said, some people can easily be discouraged, but then some other people be like, you know what? Well, if I'm good at this, I can go ahead and do this, that, whatever. So you have to be able to at least create opportunities for you and a few other people to eat. That's basically what it's leading to. And if you have some people in your circle that actually have um already have a business, and they already that business can be used for some type of forgiveness to help other people around them. So say for instance, if you have a business and you have some of your children coming out of school and they can't find employment automatically, this is a good example. They can't find employment automatically. If you are able to create employment for them and a couple of their classmates, you can qualify for a certain amount of money from the SBA, and then you can take that. You can pay them and they can have jobs. Also, those jobs can count towards loan forgiveness. Don't shoot the messenger, child. I was talking to my good bestie, Solara, and that's what she told me. That's how she told me it was going down. So, we talked about a few other things that ain't got to do with this topic. But yeah, so in so many words, it's like a student loan plus SBA crossover strategy. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. A lot of black women have a lot of higher education, right? So think about, and this is a good thing. This is a good thing because I have seen. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a lot of people go on social media in different places and say, I went here and I applied for a job. And I was like, and it's happened to me. I'm not gonna lie, it happened to me. And I felt like, girl, they was playing in my face. Girl, they was playing in my face. I was like, girl, y'all hoes don't even understand because after this, hear ye. Y'all hoes gonna have to book me after this. I will not apply for not near another motherfucking job. I'm gonna open the link up and it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. Cause I ain't going to near another motherfucking interview. Oh, okay. I ain't going to near motherfucking interview. And this is the funny part. This is the funny part. Because a lot of the people that are calling these interviews, they ain't gonna have the fun soon. Cause know why? It's gonna be so many community partnerships that grow from this initiative, and it's gonna be so many people that's gonna get their shit together, and they're gonna put business before any type of disagreement, because they're gonna be able to go and write grants and get those funds that these people over here, these other agencies, been playing with for many years. Babe, let me tell you something. Y'all don't like him. I don't care. I don't listen to what he's saying. Sometimes you gotta tune out what people are saying and look at what they're doing. Because yeah, he's getting away with a lot of stuff, saying a lot of crazy. I don't care because if you think about it, again, most sisters hold higher education, meaning higher debt, right? If you can come up with a strategic plan for me to eat and have everybody around me eat, and we paying off our motherfucking loans at the same goddamn time, bitch, let me drink my motherfucking coffee. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't motherfucker. This some genius shit. I don't give a damn what you know what I'm saying. Y'all ain't gotta like him. Hell, I don't like his ass. But this some different stuff. Now I ain't gonna lie, it's a combination of things going on, but this is different because this will open people up because it'll be more initiatives, it'll be more loans, it'll be more programs, it'll be more micro loans. You know what I'm saying? The key is making sure that you can prove that it's effective. You need to, you know what I'm saying, have your little testimonials from your clients to be like, Lord, after I went to such and such, this that happened, woo de woo. You see what I'm saying? It is gonna matter. I'm telling you, it's gonna matter. It's gonna matter. It's gonna matter. It's gonna matter. Yeah. It has to have like a measurable like social impact. Like you have to be like, oh, okay, when I started I don't know, when I started holding women's groups, the women in the community started to be able to break bondage, like bondages and evolve spiritually, emotionally, and get their shit together. Like, I don't know. That's just an example. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody had like a spiritual healing type practice, like where they, you know, did shadow work and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, girl, shit about to go. It's going down. And a lot of people are trying to understand like it's uncomfortable because they listen to the antics, but they're not paying attention to what's going on behind the scene. And yeah, this different. This different. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. That's all I gotta say. It's just wow. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm ready to finish. I ain't finished my coffee. It's 1 o'clock. Lord have mercy. I got some stuff I need to work on. But yeah, that's what I came up here talking about. I was like, what? Like she literally broke. Yeah, it this is game changing for a lot of people that had no idea how they was gonna make it work. And it's a lot of people that are still, lost on the idea of how it's gonna happen. But um it was a lady that I used to watch, and she since then she stopped doing lives, she stopped doing her videos, she stopped doing every. I was like, dang, like, cause she had some good information, and a lot of times with her good information, she would talk about um certain things, and she was very prophetic when she talked about it. And I was like, dang, this stuff sounds like it might be for real. Well, I have been educated. That's how I used to feel when I used to watch her lives. And I used to be like, wait a minute, because like she would go into different stuff because like she was like literally talking about how important small businesses will be in the near future. And then if you look at it, it is so many places that are closing their doors, but the way that they're doing it, they restructuring it, and they had allegedly had the money. So much so people are having to go back, like say like with Joann's, for example. They found a way to, I guess, play with their numbers or whatever. And now they got this. Okay, you know they filed for bankruptcy. First, they were supposed to close just some of the stores, right? Then they go from that to closing all the stores. I was like, well, what happened? You know, and it was like within months. And so now they got them people in court. The people, they literally, because the people they got the um fabric and all that stuff or whatever, all the stuff from, they don't ran off with them people's merchandise. Like they literally caused hardship. They literally caused hardship. They and it was like, to me, in my opinion, I felt like it was evil and it was, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like whoever did it, it was like hit a lick season or something. Because I ain't gonna lie, towards the end, I was like, damn, where they getting this fabric from? You know what I'm saying? It started looking good. I actually started going to the store. And then next thing you know, they was closing. But now you hearing where they like the individual vendors are taking the CEOs and different people to court to try to recoup their money. And even though these people felt like they were going to be protected with the bankruptcy, I think they found other ways to move their, actual assets around. I don't know. You said here big businesses left and left corner. So they can't, like, they ain't got it no more. Like, even if, let's say, even if they got it, right? They rather put themselves in a situation to where they're able to leave okay in a bankruptcy. Not, you know what I'm saying, balling, but it's a separation there. Then most of the stores are being built. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You said then yeah, because they like, you know what I'm saying? That's just like another strategy that um the lady I used to watch, right? She built everything up based on knowledge, facts, and research. So much so, whatever she built now, she does not have to be on YouTube. Like the people, they know where to find her. And that makes sense. So now that they know where to find her to gain certain knowledge, that's what they do. So one of the things I remember her talking about was home-based businesses. And I was like, oh, that's 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 through the roof. Because if you think about it, we was talking about, a lot of the places closed. They can't financially sustain anymore. Like think about the overhead that you would have for so many. Like if anything, this is what I think Joanne should have did if they did it the right way. If they had all of that fabric they were better off, like if they did an online store, like had a couple warehouses, um, say like 3 states, they would still be able to do what they need to do. Now, of course, they would have as much overhead. They wouldn't have to pay, because you think about all the Joanne locations that were throughout the 50 states. That's a lot of fabric. That's a lot of over. Like you got to pay them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these places was paying rent. They didn't own the buildings, because a lot of them, they don't own them. So that's another loss in itself. That, you know what I'm saying, if they don't own it. Because even if you own it, you can go rent it out. And like you said, you can bring multiple people in and you can get your rent paid. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't even moving like that. They were so used to just opening, but we were in different times and we had different economies. But now, I mean, it could be like crippling, but people that actually use those type of products apparently have found a way to go around them, because a lot of people are becoming their own wholesalers. A lot of people are going to their vendors and cutting the middleman, because their prices were crazy. So that's why I said we, you know what I'm saying? But like the home base, they're jumping. I've been seeing like people making bread, shot everything. And you know, in a lot of states, hell, you can file taxes at home. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have the overhead of an actual building. So, and realistically, it doesn't matter how small the business is, it still stands a chance of being, hell, I guess you can call say subsidized. Oh, and another thing. This is another thing as well. When they talk about the vouchers and stuff like that, right? I don't think it's a bad idea. Hold it. Now, people that are disabled, and other things, like okay, they need them. But this is what I'm gonna say: if you change it to where people are able to be entrepreneurs and access the funds to keep their business afloat and keep their lives afloat, that's game changing. Because really, it is already a program. I can't think of what is it called, within the hood, um within hood. Now that program is supposed to give opportunities to people under Section 8. They're supposed to hire people under Section 8. They're supposed to contract with people under Section 8. None of that, a lot of that is not happening in a lot of areas, because a lot of people don't know about the resources and they don't inquire about them. So, and a lot of people are being greedy and taking that money and doing what the hell they want to do with it, because the people don't know. So, like, you, I don't know. It's game changing. It's game changing. I ain't gonna hold you. It's game changing. So it's gonna put people in better position. So think about it from this perspective. Think about the quality of care a physician would be able to provide to a person if they had a smaller practice. Like remember, like back in the day when you had, like, I remember personally, it was this black couple, like they were like, you don't even see it like that anymore. Um, I remember Dr. Stith and his wife. She was a physician. She's a physician. I think she is now. So it varies state to state as far as what, like, well, Well, I know with the education, it will vary from state to state. But as it relates to what they plan on doing with the SBA, that's everywhere. That will end up being everywhere because they have the SBA is everywhere. But and then to think about it, the Small Business Administration is still a federal is still ran federally, but it's a way to be able to run the subsidies as it relates to businesses that are trying to start up. And like I said, they will start having some type of pilot programs to help the people that have businesses that have student loans. So again, SBA is federal, but when you drop down to anything state related, then that's when you're talking state to state. Like everything depends on what that state does. So the SBA is federal. Yeah. The funding for SBA? You talking about the SBA? I was like, Lord, see, my girl, she was on it. Hmm. I'm looking into grant to change my house into a living facility home to put as patients. So he's running. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good idea. So with her having okay. That's a power move because with all the cuts and things like that, Dean, that's a power move. Yeah, because and then more people want to be, and I get it. Like that helps you be able to be home, um, and all of that. Hmm, that's a good move though. What I would do, is she military? Is okay. This is my question. Is anybody? Well, no. Now, one thing. Okay, this I was about to ask, was anybody military? My nephew is the one to help fix the house up. Sandra. Okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool. I was getting ready to ask, was anybody, and see, that's the thing, you in a different state, so you would know what's in your state and what's available. Now I know here, right, boom. Okay, got you. You know what you're doing. Yeah. Cause I was looking like when I used to go look at opportunities, my sisters. Okay. Okay. Right. Ooh, yeah. And see that. See. Oh my gosh. Listen. So I got a few family members, right, that work in the mental health field. One of them, she has a pharmacy tech background, and then she's worked in like the severe, like she's worked with some of the most severely mentally ill people, in different programs, right? Right. you know what, that is a power move. And not only that, you set yourself, you basically created your destiny. You said, you know what, I'm not going there. I set it up in my, in my own space. And not only that, people don't understand, like, when you create programs like that and you create a budget, you can take that budget and do the repairs. Like, that's just like no different than when people set up for grants for different businesses. A lot of the times you are submitting some type of um expenses showing like what it's going to take to do everything. Yep. And then they help, and whatever repairs you made can be used out of that budget. And not only that, you will be able to create a comfortable situation for yourself. And not only that, that's helping your family. That's a power move. That's smart. That's smart. Because what I was saying, I was looking in the area because, well, I wasn't just the area. Back when I used to do a lot of research and look at like the programs that the government was looking for. Let's just say that they did not have enough homes to house the veterans. Um, and I noticed, I'm not gonna lie, in this area, there are a lot of rooming houses. I got an uncle that live in one. And baby, when I tell you, oh, my little light went out. I don't know if it's gonna come back on. I be so tired of him because I be telling him, I'm like, man, you can qualify for a whole house, and if you want to keep these people in here, y'all all can be paying to be like. I just be so irritated with him, and then I still try to, have a level of patience with him. And at the end of the day, he can do what he want to do, but he's getting older, and to me, I feel like he should be able to live more comfortable. That's what I'm looking at. Like, even if he gonna smoke from sun up to sundown, um, it don't have to be like a trap house looking situation. And if that's what he want to do, baby, who am I? Who am I? I ain't nobody. But yeah, that is a smart move. Like, they did, like, I did see, and I asked about military because a lot of times for the federal ones, they will have specific ones set aside for veterans to create programs as well. So yeah. Oh, and then okay, so with my family members, like one of my family members never even considered the field, right? And I was telling her, I was like, well, you got a lot of transferable skill sets. And what I did, I wrote her a resume. And ever since then, she has been able to obtain some type of employment in that area. Now, I ain't trying to be in the area. So now, and she's actually been in a position to be in. So this is the crazy thing. So the new place she work at, um, the owner of that place got a lot of the training from a similar place that I went to that was like a specialized program. So where they was able to go ahead and set their business up, right? That program allows them to also house, because they have waiver programs where you can house uh, clients with intellectual disabilities. She has yet to do that. I was like, girl, that will free you. Like, what? Anyway, a lot of girls are doing it now to keep their parents home. Oh, what? Come on, D. I didn't know that. So is this a? is this a state program or is it a federal program? You be having the tea. I remember you was telling me about the grants for like the homeschools or something like that. But yeah, that's only y'all. Yeah, y'all got some good stuff down there. That's good. That's good work. That is smart. Hmm. I ain't never think of that. But you know what? My mom was talking about opening one, but I'm not. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't able to do it. Okay. But yeah, that's really good. That's a power move because I've never heard of anybody executing a move like that, and that makes sense for people that want to live in their own home, and they should have those type of resources available because ultimately it's like a short like a long term investment. You know what I'm saying? Like you go ahead, do everything now in the event of that is proactive instead of reactive. I like programs like that. But yeah, I've come across so many programs in this area. It's just it makes no sense to how they're being ran. It makes no sense to how people are able to continue to get funds and play with this money. Um, because you have to write like outcomes and goals and stuff when you writing grants. And I'm like, what kind of shit is they writing? Now, granted, I know it's good for 5 years, but I'm glad that these opportunities are going to open up for people that are going to need them because realistically, the job market is trash. It has been for a long time. People just have been overlooking it and putting out fake numbers and fake projections. Well, I'm gonna go and finish drinking my little coffee. Figure out the rest of my day because I need to sew, but I don't feel like it. I got some samples I need to make. Um, I don't know. But yeah, that's all. This is something that Trump put in order for helping people get their business. What a lot of people don't know about. Oh, okay. So that's something. That's a new initiative, but that makes sense because I mean, now granted, it's a lot of people that don't have a home, that aren't fortunate, weren't didn't have a home, um, or don't have However, there are some people that go in and rent one and make and get them started as well. Because a lot of the ones that I have seen in the area, the ones that I have seen in my area that are houses are generally strategically on those roads that are zoned for how, it can be, it can be residential or it can be for business. So here, a lot of people will buy a house on a main road because of that benefit. So later on, if they did want to have, a lot of times the goal is to, have some type of business, and really you can use that as your business address, depending on where it's located. But yeah, a lot of the ones here for nursing homes and things of that nature that aren't facilities are strategically placed like on a corner somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying, like. But I've noticed that a lot of the nonprofits that have programs, um rent, and what they do is they go for the big money. So when they write their grants, they write grants for big money. And with the big money, that budget is generally, for to rent those places, you know, it's included. And yeah. Yep. You know what? I seen a few of them on TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lady. I don't remember what state she's in, but she like literally has a course, and she has a few of them, and she talk about it, and I think she teach people how to do it as well. I seen that as well. That's why I was saying, like, my aunt like, okay, so again, she had transferable skills. I was like, okay, you can take this skill set and take it over here. And ever since then, she's always been able to do something, in the mental health field, right? As a what did they call them when I used to work there? As an aide. I'm just gonna say an aide, right? So the company she's with now, they encourage their aides to, like, when they train them, they don't just go through regular training to work with the clients they have. They actually put them in the position to be able to house one if they wanted to. And when you are able to house one if you want to under that program, this is how it was explained to me 10 years ago. And we've progressed since then, right? The only catch is you will be somewhere with the title under the right. There you go. But that's easy to get. That is so easy to check. That's easy to do. That's easy. You can get somebody to do that. So basically, that's what I'm saying. It gives them the opportunity to like, okay, so back 10 years ago when I was a clinician, and I don't know, I feel like I was put in that place to be able to learn certain parts, but I wasn't supposed to stay. And that was explained to me as well. Um because I knew nothing about this population, right? At that time. I didn't know it was like that. I did not know. Like, okay. In my undergrad years, like when I was taking social work classes, I learned about the whole house. You know what I'm saying? I learned about, like, I guess you could say, the history behind institutions, right? I didn't know they had closed all them institutions like that. I had no idea. Lord have mercy. Y'all pray for your girl. So I had no idea that they had closed so many institutions like that, right? So I went into this program after I finished my master's degree. I want to say it had to be within months. Within months, right? So what happened was, this is how this program came about, that I work for. A senator's child. You know, something has to happen for somebody and in power for certain change to happen, right? So that's why I don't be stressed about nothing Donnie talk about, because his audience, for the most part, and not educated, right? So the things that he will impose will hit them first. They get mad, and then the change comes about. Okay. So this senator had a child that unfortunately took themselves away from here. Let's say it like that. And what happened was, there was no program available. There was nowhere for the young man to go to help him. So what happened was, they ended up suing the state. Right. They sued the state. So when I got there, the only kid, so when I got to the program, they had only been open maybe 2 years. Yeah. Um, at the time, it was really slow. It was up and coming. They had different crisis houses in different regions, right? So this particular area that I stay in, they decided to house the program for this region. The people that applied for the grants, this is what the director looked like. No, the executive director of that part. However, the director in the program, and we had a flip flop of uh, clinical psychologists, which are some interesting people. They should be studied. Um, so basically, the program purpose was to house people um, that, because see, this is what happened, because they closed so many institutions, nobody had nowhere to go. So think about a lot of people that has issues, that are little kids, and then they grow up to be strong as oxes, knocking their parents out. So we had a whole other playing field, right? So these were the young people that will go into crisis or have something go on, and then they will go to, like, what's the closest mental institution in my area would be um Eastern State Hospital, which is in Williamsburg. So again, everything is broken down in regions. And there are other ones, like, other sides or whatever. But this is like the one, like, but the thing is, if a person ever said they went to Eastern State and they stayed for some months, run. Anyway, so at the Eastern State, child, they if they keep you, if they keep you, it's something for real going. Like, it got to be real bad. But the thing is, some of the stuff that the young people or older people, whatever people was going through was not that great. So what they did, they created this program as like a step down to help you get ready before you can go home. So, oh Lord, Jesus, I'm just let me stop. I ain't talking about this shit. Babe, when I tell you I wasn't ready, I wasn't ready. And the crazy thing is, it's this guy. I went to high school with him. He's a really, you know what I'm saying? He was a big ass football player or whatever, right? He worked there. And when I seen him there, I was like, hey, such and such, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, we would go way back, you know what I'm saying, from high school days. And so he ended up giving me the backstory to how he ended up at the program. He essentially, he said they tricked him. I said, damn, you know it's bad. They tricked that man. So he said he got hired for a different program. He said, I don't know how the hell I ended up over here. I said, God damn. But you know what the crazy thing is? I should have ran then when he told me that story. So during the interview process, I think what was going on, they were so desperate just to get somebody in there because they could not keep counselors and they could not keep them for this very reason. They didn't know what the fuck they was doing. And the crazy thing is, the director, she was so good at not knowing what the fuck she was doing. She was this chick from New York. So she had a game out of this world. She had game. Oh baby, she had game. Matter of fact, she had a social work background. Hell, she done talked her way up. I think she over some type of social workplace now. I think she used that position to be able to get. But realistically, that went over there. She didn't know the fuck she was doing. Baby, when I tell you it was horrible, terrible. But she stayed and she endured. I don't know, like I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it. That money was money in. It had to be. The money was money in. Because baby, I probably would have stayed like a year. That is, but you know what? She didn't have to go through as much as what the actual workers had to go through. So I guess it probably would be that much easier to go and tell somebody what they need to do, even though it's impossible to do, but make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that pep talk shit. That's base. She was the coach. She was the coach. That's all she did was coach. But either way, a crisis facility is totally different from like an actual house because one thing I can say is once people like say if you had because I did notice a lot of fraternities in the area they ended up being sponsors and renting like 3 bedroom houses to house people and have because they had got a couple of the clients or had like we use our services to come for in home for some of their people. So I remember once like my first client, baby, she was lit. She was lit. She was a different person every day. She had a different boyfriend every day. So much so that she act like she gave birth to a baby, but it was a teddy bear. She had on fairy wings. She walked on her tippy toe. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like it before. And I was like, it's just wild that they don't keep people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think her mama, her real mama, was there, and I think somebody. What happened was a lot. This is a lot that was going on too. A lot of young people that were adopted with disabilities ended up being placed there for service. This is the messed up part. They started placing them. Okay, first it started out as like, oh, okay, this is how it was supposed to be. When they left the hospital, they were supposed to stay there in transition for a couple weeks, and then go home, go back to wherever they started out. If they started at a somebody's house that was adopted, that's who they were supposed to go. What happened was, why don't people left them there? They will literally bring them there and leave them there. I was like, wait a minute, what part of the game? So a 2 week stay turned into 2 months. I seen somebody literally, it turned into a whole year. Ugh. I'm like, nigga, wait a minute. This wasn't supposed to be a residential program. And it's not set up to be a residential program. But they were still collecting them coins. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So you had like it had like you had it go on like that too. It was so crazy because what the fuck the worker supposed to do with it? If I got people that are coming in and they are going out and their people are being responsible and holding to what they supposed to do. They coming in, bringing their people. You know, some people was dropping their people off because they had a vacation. Okay, that's cool. I ain't even tripping about that. But some of them would make, but the ones that would make up a issue just to drop, they would literally trigger them to go off just so they can bring their ass there. By the time they get there, they done went the fuck off and did what they needed to do. They like, damn, why I'm here? Oh shit. Half of them don't even know why they did. Half of them ain't even their own guardian to consent to be there. So you got people that are guardians signing these people over, and these people are physically telling you, I want to leave. Bitch, hold on. Y'all is not gonna have me in jail behind this. But this is like, okay, so it's a fact. This program, now, granted, I can say I think it was great. I think the people, the socialization was great. You know, some people I ain't get along. That's cool. And it was kind of hard to separate them because we really didn't have that much staff a lot of times. And then we had staff members that didn't want to work. So, um, basically, it was a one, two, 5 bedroom house with a kitchen, a living room area. It was a big spacious. It looked like a double wide. Um, and two of the other bedrooms were actually two offices. And then upstairs, the director had their own situation and her assistant upstairs. So the thing is, when they went to the hospitals, a lot of times I really don't know how long they stayed or whatever they had going on. And I don't even know how much work they actually did with the people while they were there. But some of the people came there and it was just like nothing had happened prior to. I was like, as long as they was on medication, they kept them there. Right. So this is the thing. At the facility that I was working in, crisis intervention, um, yes, they had to take what was prescribed to them and they had to participate in groups. We did go out into the community, you know what I'm saying, and do stuff. Um, but it was so strict, which is weird because I'm like, if they not in the hospital, but you put them in the crisis intervention facility for 2 weeks to transition home, they in there bored, and a lot of them were young adults. So they ain't had no cell phone, they ain't had no computer, they could barely watch TV, and then the TV they was watching was like old movies, you know, in their free time. Um, it was like being in jail. I guess I don't know. It was. I feel like it would have been a great program if the person that wrote the grant knew what the fuck they was doing. Now, granted, I think that place only had it for 5 years because I think in 2016, had to be about 2016 is when that facility closed. 2016, and another program, another community services board took over that program. But the thing is that other one took it over, and I really think that one had more experience because they already had a adolescent program similar to it. So I think what happened was after the settlement, they were in a rush to get it up and running, is what I'm thinking. So now it still exists, but I think it's in better hands and it's already, I guess you could say, on its second term. I don't know. I didn't even look to see who got it now. Yeah, but it was crazy because that, like, essentially, I remember one time the director got mad, called me because the way that this program was structured, we had different people. We had people out in the community that went and answered the calls. So basically, they would be on call. They were coordinators, right? Coordinators got paid more than us. They had more paperwork, but with me working hands on and having the title as a clinician, I had to do the billing, right? So she called me one day because it wasn't any billing for a specific person in the daytime. I was like, girl, I won't deal. Like, what the fuck you want? And I was like, why the fuck you calling me? Oh, because you was there in the afternoon. Bitch, I wasn't there in the morning with that person. I don't know what they did this morning. I don't know. Well, I need you to put one in the ear. falsify this note to get this billing done? I hope they audited that whole goddamn program at the end of the year. I hope the fuck they did. But yeah. Yeah, she was like, put it in there. But no, this lady is literally now, today, she is some type of director or something over what is he doing? Over human services. Like over a social services program. This is the lady. Like, don't get me wrong, she has a social work background. So I think that would be probably a better place for her to be a director in. But when she was over there, I was like, this bitch is legal? Like, this how mad they got in me one time, girl. So like when the people come in, like what the hell y'all take? I was like, bitch, how the fuck? And then this is the thing, y'all so stupid that you have a copy of the schedule. If these people wanted to audit you, they would have documentation proving that my black ass wasn't there in the morning. Instead of calling Katrina, yeah, I called that bitch name. Why you ain't call that bitch to do it? I ain't understanding. I ain't understanding. She knew, cause she knew. Yeah, girl, they was trying to use me. That's what they were trying to do. So, because at the time I didn't have any type of license, so they had to get some people in there that did not have a license and that did not plan on, you could, you know what I'm saying, getting certain licenses, because you got to have somebody to do the dirty work. Because if you have a license, or if you have something pending, or you want something in the future, you can't fuck that up. So they were trying to fuck it up for other people. She did. But you said, but why put you in that position? Because she hired me. That bitch felt like I should be grateful to have that job. Hand to the man. That's how I felt. And back then, I never forget it. She was slightly older than me. And I'm pretty sure, she wore a little wig and whatever. Do you, boo? I ain't mad at no wig. Because, I used to wear wigs years ago. But, I'm not wearing no hot ass wig to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the time I had locks and they were, down here. And I'll never forget, she had asked me twice. And she was like, well, how long will you have your hair like that? My job description was to do my notes and do them in a timely fashion. However, I noticed they didn't give a fuck who put them in, long as they got done. So much so, what ended up happening at a few years, they ended up having a person come in to keep up with who done this. Like, they literally like ended up having finally hiring an internal person, because they were so greedy with the budget, an internal person just for that department, for that program, to make sure everybody, because what happened was, okay, so what should have been happening that did not happen. It was fine to have a director. It was fine to have a part-time clinical psychologist. However, there was no direction for the counselors. So we didn't have a supervisor. We had the director of the program. We had a director of the program. We had the clinical psychologist. The clinical psychologist, I think she was part-time because I think she went from different programs and did her own thing. Because it was like when she came back to us, I don't know the fuck she did trainings and then she tried to stir up shit amongst us. That's what she did. And she thought, I'm gonna leave that alone. But so yeah, when they got the audit person in, I guess they was able to hold other people account because like I was normally on my game with mine, like boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Oh shit, where the police? Girl, I see everything from this window. That one car. What the hell done happened? He done went to the window. I seen the man walk up and go to the window. And I seen the police pull up. Back to what I was saying. Um, yeah, like she was saying weird stuff to me, like how long you gonna like basically because like I said, my hair was natural, I had locks, and she was just like, how long are you gonna wear your hair like that? And I just looked at her. I was like, do she know she black? Though she was from New York, she had some southern roots. I could look at her nose and tell she had some southern roots. But I didn't understand, like, I guess she was like, my hair wasn't professional or, because back then, before everybody was wearing, finally wearing, I had been had locks. Like my hair, I was growing my hair out. And she was just, I was like, yo, it was the weirdest, I ain't gonna lie. It was just weird. This nurse talked my ears off, but I'm back again. Yeah, and you know what? It was funny. Okay, so that was another thing. They could not keep a nurse at the program. Like nobody wanted to work. Like literally nobody wanted to stay in this program. You had to be a strong MF to stay in that program. I ain't gonna hold you. So when I got interviewed, I remember it was a nurse. Her name, I ain't gonna say her name. Yes, I'm gonna say her name was Pam. It was the white lady. She was older. And you could tell all she did was smoke cigarettes and gamble. I don't know what that lady did. Let me stop. She just seemed weird. Like she was so evil. Like she just was like nobody like when I tell you nobody liked being there. Them was some mad motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie. So I don't know. Maybe because I was never mad. I just went with whatever the flow was because it was just always chaos. Um, so she worked for a while because they have to have a nurse to, look over the books and whatever the case may be, check the meds, all that, right? And she dropped from full time to part time, which I was glad because I did not like her. I couldn't like. She had a. You can tell she sounded like she smoked cigarettes for 40 years, but mm, damn, she reminded me of the lady that I used to work with at Walmart, and Trish still there. She sound the same way. They give me hillbilly vibes. I just thought about it. Anyway, so they ended up with another lady, and she came in, and she was just the same, but she was the LPN. Oh, what the fuck was her name? I don't know. Baby, when I tell you that lady used to drink so much coffee in the daytime and she drank it straight and she ate cheese. And it used to be like a running joke that, when she wasn't at work, she hit the bottle heavy. And I was like, I believe that because it was something really, really off with this lady. Oh shit, this look domestic. Oh, they're like a baby daddy or somebody arguing. Oh, another police pulled up, y'all. We on the scene of this bitch. I should crack the window. I can't hear nothing. She going off too. He looking like he pouring like this B. I wonder if them kids was by themselves. She going off. They're yelling at each other. I think the police officer, he's standing in between, telling both of them, trying to get them both to get in their motherfucking cars. She jumping back out the car talking shit. He done closed the man door. He done pointed, told her get in her motherfucking car. He walking up to that bitch, tell her go to her get in her motherfucking car. Oh, he gonna arrest her ass. He grabbed that bitch. Oh shit, y'all. Oh, the dude, he getting out. So he happy her ass arrested. Oh, he cutting off. He cutting up now. He out. He got out the car. He going back to the house. He still talking shit. But why did they cuff her? They been told him cuff his ass too. They done cuff her motherfucking ass. She going to jail. They done close her car though. She can't even get in her motherfucking car now. They finna put her ass in a goddamn car, girl. Y'all. And then he talking to the dude. Maybe they just put her in cuffs for her to calm down because she was about to fuck his ass up. I don't know what he said, but the other officer, he coming out there talking to him. The other one, he holding her in cuffs. Is he finna take them off her? He probably just want her to calm down. He taking them off. Good, cause I don't, you know what I'm saying, free my sisters, cause this man, you know what I'm saying. Oh no, they put her ass in the car. Hold up. Oh, they had to get the baby out the car. She had a baby in the car, and he's just standing out there. Girl, I can't even. Gotta open the fucking window. I had to go to the grocery store today. You know, today Tuesday, the last day of the sale, girl. You know they be Wednesday through Tuesday. I want me a good watermelon. Hey, like, y'all think I'm not making this shit up? But I'm like, why is she in cuffs? But he ain't. This the fucked up part. He, not only did he get back out his car, he leaning on her motherfucking car, watching the police with her in cuffs. I'm watching it. Why they make him still sit his big ass in his car? They got it going on, Dean. I ain't got nothing going on. I'm just watching. I'm in here minding my black business. I was telling, we was talking. They done grabbed that lady and she and her baby was in the fucking car. But she was parked. So all this, well, they ain't put her in the car yet. So she did look like she jumped out that car like she was about to put them LNRs on his ass. I ain't gonna lie. They had, I guess that was how they had to de-escalate the situation. But he's still able to walk around and shit. They be doing us dirty. They be doing us so fucking dirty. And he probably a dirty ass dude, like just dirty and grimy. I wonder if she the one that called the police, y'all. Wouldn't that be something if she was the one that called? No, but I think it was him because he pulled up first. He was pulled up, right? I ain't gonna lie, when I was watching y'all, girl, I might do that too. I was watching, right? I was talking when I was reading, talking about what I was talking about. I was looking to the side, and I did. So I was like, "What he doing?" He had went to the apartment window. He went to the back window. I don't know if he had tapped on the window or whatever, but then he went back towards his car. So he was already out here. He called the police because she wasn't even here. And then she pulled up, and then they got into it. No, they ain't like, yeah, they got into it. Mm, 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 mm. And where he going? Is he going to her house? He going back to the apartment. And she probably running the whole motherfucking story down to them because you know he ain't gonna say it. He gonna skip a lot of pieces. But she in the cuffs. What was I talking about? Y'all? I done forgot all about what I was talking about. Shit, they got wow real quick. Hey, grand girl. Girl, they done sent two cruisers over. One for him and one for her. No, ain't no Tisa. Tisa be lying, girl. I'm telling you what's going on right now. They allegedly they say she don't be telling the truth. Oh, Reba, you see what your boy going through though? That's what they said. That's why I said, Now I'm telling what's going on outside my window, girl. That's it. I don't be. No. Reba, you see what not doing? Child, they said not ain't got nowhere to go. Word on the curb. Why you ain't call? Girl, I got up this morning. This the funny thing. And you notice you notice I ain't say nothing about that man after I said what I said. I left it alone because you know what and see this is why I'm trying to explain to you, everybody. When I was saying I worked in that field, baby. Sometimes you just gotta discern, and you can't argue with people like that. Child, they say he twirling around on the donuts, and now it's child. I had seen this morning. Okay, so this morning when I went and I was scrolling, I seen that Wiley was talking about some stuff. Yeah, I got my own child. Told y'all I live in the hood. Y'all think I be playing shit? The lawn people they pulling up. They pull their trailer over here. They acting like just like they pulled it right beside the cruiser, like ain't nothing going on. Girl, they used to it. That's the little spot they normally they about to finish cutting the grass. He is, but this I'm telling you, but the thing is, he does when I really realize he does that to everybody. And I knew something was wrong with him. I was like, mm-mm. back up from that food. I ain't saying nothing else because this is the thing. Remember when he got back up there crying, talking about his friend was gone? That was just a warning before the destruction. He continued to bother people. He continued to harass people. He continued to do what he does. Like, I was like, and I get it, like, all platforms are different. I heard that he was accustomed to doing that because that's what they do on, yes, the powder donuts. That's all I'm talking about, the powder. He on that grip. We gonna call it that grip. He on that grip drip. Where they nose drip. Anyway, he on that grip. And I noticed it because this is the thing, Reba. If you really pay attention, he watched that video that I said, whatever. I was like with that fake nose and God bless you. I can imagine how, it could be to be you. Like you're like in so many words, he was pathetic. You know what I'm saying? But I really felt like when he came down, see what I'm saying? When he came down, he was like, damn, I probably went a little too far. Like he's one, you can tell he's one of those people that get caught up in the groove of that grip. And you know what I'm saying? He just get loose as a goose, and then he be done did some shit he can't come back from. And I was like, I think that's the problem. I think it is really, really bad. And girl, you gonna have to go over there and check Wiley out because Wiley had some tea on some stuff. Basically, yeah, he watched the girl, and then he had to come with a pity story to make people feel some type of way. And see, that's why I really had to back. I was like, yo, this dude here crazy. You go in, talk about women. I remember one time he went in on Kaya. He talk about women, but then he still pander and want certain women to watch him to keep giving him money. Then I heard that he was like messing around. I was like, what woman and they good right sovereignty? Like you gotta be like, bitch, you ain't got no self-esteem to mess with him. Anyway, they said somebody was messing with him. Some of that information got out. Then I seen something else. He's still arguing with her, and she in cuffs. Girl, I need to open my damn window, child. I can't hear nothing. I know they saying some good cuss words today. Oh, he said she a fucking alcoholic. Oh shit, he might be right in this one, y'all. I might be wrong. Now I can hear the dude trying to tell him get back in his car. He said she ain't nothing but an alcoholic. Oh, she getting in the car now. Oh, they locked her ass up. He said he do everything for her and them kids. He wash their clothes. He do everything. He do got wide hips though. He finally made him get back in the car. He still arguing. Get your bitch ass Molly the maid ass in the car. He like, man, chill. Like the dude really trying to just tell him going on about his business. They need to lock his ass up too. They done put her ass in the car. I don't know if she was driving drunk. I don't know. But somebody had came from it. It was a girl. Looked like she could have been like a teenager or something. Maybe her older child had came and got the other child and killed her in the house. That was right when he was going to put her in the cuffs, y'all. But yeah, child, let me tell you how bad it got, Reba girl. I was scrolling on TikTok, right? Cause but that's the thing. Like from what I heard, he came from Clubhouse, and that's what they did. Yeah, she going to jail, friend. She going in there. They lock her ass up. They put her in the car, girl. I was trying to have her back, bitch. I ain't even know about nothing. But I learned to mind my business. I'm talking shit from the window. Cause the old me, I be outside and shit. Like for real, girl, it ain't shit for me to find out. I don't give a fuck about doing. Girl, I be cussing. I tell the police get the fuck off the property. I will, and it ain't even my property. I just do all kinds of crazy shit. hmm I've kept people from getting arrested before, talking shit to the police. I have. I don't do it no more. But look, so he was on TikTok, girl, and he did a live, and girl was two people in the live. This was last night. I should have screenshotted or screen report. I didn't though. I was just sitting there like, cause he done did so much on YouTube to where they done snatched I think all of his channels for the most part, and he said they owe him $13,000. I don't know how true it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do owe him money and they took it because of all the complaints or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he do. He go in on people, and they keep on changing their policies, and it's a lot of stuff that's written loosely, and they not playing with folks. So I wouldn't be surprised. Then they said, girl, he was out there down at the trial and they had no money. And he was spazzing out because he was out there and his check ain't come through. That's what they said. They say his check ain't come through. Damn, she finna go to jail, y'all. I don't even know, man. That's fucked up though. He was hangry. And some more girl hangry, hungry. Girl, he was they say he was out there answering for those CAs, them candy apples, and everything. I said, this is the thing. If you've already been making money, he done lost. He do look sunken around the face and the jaws. And but he stay. He gonna keep looking that way because that's them demons. He in the sunken place, like for real. I was like, for you to go in, like his stuff don't just be like he be doing the most. Like he be calling people's families, jobs, and I was like, and these be people that ain't did nothing to him. That's the thing. I be like, hold up. Now I understand if you ain't like somebody. See, now I got to close the window because now, but they ain't talking no more. But I did get to hear what the man said. He told that bitch she was an alcoholic. I wonder if she been day drinking. Close my window. He gonna bring his ass over here, being loud and stuff. But yeah, but when you go to something like that, like a lot of those people when they decided to go to that trial, right? They had scheduled it out. I'm pretty sure they had made arrangements. They probably had a friend of a friend, a cousin, found a way to make it work. Like some people had family members, some people had friends. Even if they had to lay on somebody's couch, pay them, whatever, get a room, use a credit card, run it up so they can get this money because they're going to get their money on the back end because they're going to be, in the right position, right? I was like, did he go on the Greyhound? Like, how? Like, I don't know how. Like, I'm just trying to understand how in the world, like, what was his thought process? But then again, if he's spiraling and he allegedly on them kind of donuts, I would think that the thought process wasn't there. I would think things ain't clicking, on all cylinders. Cause I was like, what the fuck? How he broke? But you know what I'm saying? How and then, but no, see, he was banking on getting paid like he normally get paid every month. That money was gone, baby. They were like, no, ma'am, not our platform. And that's the thing. He's built page after page. And don't get me wrong, like I know how to do this. And it's nothing wrong with knowing how to do it, but it's your intentions. Like you don't have no good intentions. Like you just talk about anybody. He don't even know the people. I'm like, and then I started seeing the pattern, and I was like, oh, okay, he's special. You know what I'm saying? He's special. I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave this one alone. I said he seemed like he already special and the pound of donuts. He don't. But this man went and got his damn baby mama locked up. That would it looked like he did. Do they got the air on? Cause she in the car. They probably got the air on because they fat asses keep the air on for themselves. They out there talking about it. They probably over there discussing what they gonna charge her with. Girl, they used to hate to see me coming outdoors. I don't fool with them no more. It's hot outside, girl. I don't even like going out there for real half the time. But what I can do is report to the chief how they did a poor job of controlling this environment because that man shouldn't have been able to sit and lean on her car and watch her and taunt her and watch her get arrested. That's what I can say. What's the cruiser number? Hold on, let me get these cruiser numbers, y'all. Hold on. Y'all thought I was playing. Let me write it down right quick. 3415. And the other guy called 0038. He had a lot of numbers on his card. I got so many. When they start making more than 4 digits over here. Today's date is 7/15/25. See, then when I walked out there, he started acting like he was checking on the lady and stuff. We went to the back of the car and shit. Girl, I walked my ass outside. He's still back there talking to her because she had asked him a question when he opened that door. But other than that, she was just sitting in there. And I think he got the air on, y'all. He had to go check on her. It's another person in their car over there watching too. I don't want them around here trying to, you know what I'm saying, put their hands on her and nothing. Because she done cuss their ass out. Because, you know, I cuss their ass out calm ready to fight me. But, yeah, I had to go out there and be nosy. Oh, back to sunken space. So sunken, yeah, child, they say sunken space. Let me see if he done lost his money. Sunken space is truly in a sunken space because he can't bully people no more. Okay, that's good. And you know what I'm saying? He can't bully people no more. He can't go over here. Well, I'm pretty sure he'll continue to do it. What the little brief information that I did see from last night, cause he went live on his page. There was like 2 people up there, and I'm pretty sure he probably was streaming somewhere else, cause he did try to get his people to follow him to Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. After he ain't get no money, so he's probably over there and trying to, you know what I'm saying, get him some people on TikTok. But anyway, so what he was talking about was I think Krishan. I think he was talking about how he didn't really talk about her as much, even though he could, because he was present during, you know, whatever and whatever. You know, he was going to the little court dates and stuff like that. I think it's a major learning experience. You know what I'm saying? It's saying like it's a wake up call for him. I think it's a wake up call for him because he can't keep doing what he do. Twirling around on them powder donuts out here messing with people out in these streets because everybody ain't going, you know what I'm saying? Because like the way he ran up on Gene, the way he ran, girl, the way he ran up on Gene and Gene told him, I would knock you the fuck out. I was waiting for it. I was like, Lord, be a fist, be a L and a R. But it ain't happened. And I understand, but you know what the thing is? At least he warned him. He warned him. He said, and he told him for real. He was like, look, man, you can't just walk up to people and like he set like he gets mad anytime people set a boundary. I think the problem is he don't know how to do that or something. Something is seriously wrong with him. Like I think he need a slight polite hold. I think he you know what I'm saying, a little 5150. Um, just for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To get his mind right, get his medication adjusted. Cause you know you can't mix them street drugs and them regular ones. And let's see, I'm about to go. They better not lock that lady up. I think they is finna kill though, cause he done gave him some paperwork. I hope they don't tow that lady car in that parking space, cause you know they petty like that, girl. They'll come and tow your car even though it's parked. I ain't lying, just to get that money. Yeah, he need a little slight, you know what I'm saying? Cause that's what I'm saying. People, they get excited, like, yeah, I think, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it was so much tea that why I'ma just you gonna have to go check out Wiley page. I ain't gonna repeat that stuff. But and you can like for real, I think they were cool. I feel like he caught himself trying to connect himself with Wiley because at the time Wiley had whatever he had going on. What they doing? They better be letting her out. Free my sis. Nigga gonna watch her get locked up. She probably drinking because she tired of his motherfucking ass. Anyway, yeah, a little slight hole because like he was telling the story. It sounded like he was already facing the situation he facing because of his own actions. They said that it's the stuff going on. It was some stuff alleged about. Is they trying to tell the lady car? Why they going to her car? Why is they going to her car? Oh, he locked the door. Oh, he got. Did he get our key out or something? What are you doing? But it was some stuff alleged that basically he was already in the process of this some months ago. Um, Child Wilder went and talked about somebody had sent him some information allegedly about a lover that was tied to him. So you gotta check out that. I was like, girl, I gotta go watch the rest of it because Wiley been like, don't get me wrong. I think they was cool, but I think what's the name? His mental, like how he handles stuff and how he move around people, just won't allow him to really, I guess, have the relationships he really need to have. Like he always busy trying to one up a person. Like, but the thing is, I don't know. I don't know. It's giving child, the elevator stuck. I'm gonna just say that elevator is stuck. It's stuck. And the powder donuts ain't helping. I'm gonna leave it there. The dude still, why is he still here? This is what I want. If he don't live here, because he ain't go like in the house, never at one point in time, he never went into this apartment. Okay. Why is he still able to still be on the property? This is what I'm having an issue with. Why is he still here? Like, the woman is in the back of a car. Nigga, what more do you want? Like, she is in the back of a police car that you helped put her in. He's still sitting out this motherfucker. You know what? That's why, bitch, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I'm just really sitting here. And granted, I know I'm a spectator. So the police, he went to the apartment door, I guess. Came back out talking to the dude. You get her locked up. There's some real time shit going on. Then I just realized these motherfuckers is cutting wet grass. Anyway, let's focus. I'm finna go. I mean, he's just chilling, sitting in his car with his arm in the window, like he had a matinee. And this shit is real life. This woman got kids. But you know what? This is the crazy thing. This isn't the first time I've seen this out here. I had a neighbor, and she's not out here anymore. When I tell you, one day I was sitting in here minding my business, girl. She was outside going off. I had just finished taking my making my coffee. So they still on the phone with somebody. I guess they trying to get orders to do something because they I hope they ain't calling CPS on her. Girl, he probably calling CPS. Cause I'm telling you, it was a kid in that car, and one of the girls came out and got the baby. She had on a bonnet. I don't know if she was an adult or a teenager. And when the man came, I think he trying to get them kids from her. That's what he's sitting and gloating about. But anyway, it was a girl out here. Yes, Reba. I would literally turn my phone around, but then everybody and their mama know where I live. This man, girl, this man is just sitting in his car. Now he's in the car because I told you up until they arrested her, put her in the car, all that shit. He was not in his car. He was still out, even though the police told him to get in the car. He can't. He got back. I'm like, why he ain't got no cuffs? Because he is antagonizing this woman. Okay, and even if she ain't this, and maybe if she ain't the woman she should be, whatever the case may be, and maybe she drink. Okay, I hope she won't drink it and drive it. Anyway, When she got here, they was telling her, I think they was telling her to get in her car, but she went in the direction of him because he just kept antagonizing, you know what I'm saying, just talking shit like a bitch because I'm telling you, he got hips. So, and then the stuff he was describing, I wash your clothes, I wash their clothes, I do. I was like, oh yeah, he tired of being a bitch in a relationship, is from my observation. So he's just sitting out here chilling. One of the police officers, he on the phone talking to somebody at this point. They have yet to leave and take her wherever they're gonna take her or whatever the case may be. I really feel like, and this is something I already kind of been seeing, how certain women are getting broken down so bad that the shit's starting to happen with these men. And the crazy thing is, I had one of my friends, oh my God, this was like 2, 3 years ago. She said women are going to start boop, 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 the men. And I was like, girl, you ain't never lied. But anyway, you keep opening the back door, let her ass out. Anyway, so the other lady, she would like go off. Like, and the crazy thing is, it was never her going off concerning her kids. It was always her getting into it with a dude. Like, it got to the point, like, she used to literally, like, one day, I had to go over there and I was like, girl, why is you outside yelling? I was like, she was like, telling us what was going on, whatever the case may be. Because it was another woman here walked up. We was like, look, she need to chill out. It was in the middle of the day. It was like 12 o'clock. Going off. And I was like, damn, something got to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And just imagine, like, the more I talked to her, the more I realized how much she was really, really going through. Because not only was she dealing with these ain't shit ass dudes that was gaslighting the fuck out of her and using her because she needed help. She lost her mama when she was little. And I was like, fuck. Because she used to like do some weird shit. Like, she used to be like literally going off. But for the most part, I was like, maybe she off her medication. Maybe she needs something to balance her out because she was like snapping. But one thing I can say, when we was over there talking to her, she wasn't snapping at us. Nothing. She was receptive. She listened. She wasn't a nasty person. But I noticed a lot of the stuff really, really happened with her when she was dealing with guys. And she don't live over here no more. But I hope she all right. Her and she had 2 little girls. Girl, this is breaking news. This is going on right now. We 2 hours in. Girl, I want to see what's gonna happen. I'm curious. And see, this is the thing. Y'all gotta also remember. I don't have no issue with sitting down with people and having them be accountable for their actions. The police chief, because a lot of it be poor training. I think they're gonna have CPS come out. I really do. I just feel it. Damn. And I done seen it over here before. Like one lady had her she was clearly, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with her. She literally and see, this is the thing, like when I was talking about earlier and I was talking about different businesses and programs and things of that nature. Now, I'm telling you straight up, I went in for an interview, right? And this is the thing. I'm not stressed. I've never been that person because God has always provided, right? So I went into it, whatever. God, I wish I could hear what they talking about. Let me try to crack my window deeper. They're a little far off. I can't hear him, but he's still out there like a bitch talking to the police about this lady. She's still sitting in the car. But anyway, back to what I was saying. And I was talking to the lady, and she was like, "Oh, this program has been around for 33 years. Whoop de woo, do 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 do." So the program that I applied for, that's her baby. Where the baby going? What I tell you, he wanted them kids. Them kids get in the car with him, and it's two girls. They luggage get she the older girl, because I remember it was the bigger girl that went and got the other one out the back seat of her mama car and took her in the house because she looked like she was like kind of asleep. Oh, she going to say bye to her mama in the back of the cruiser. This some bullshit. They gonna take the baby over there to the mama. This nigga standing there with his phone like he ain't just did, like ain't nothing just happened. They don't roll the luggage out to his car because like, you know what I'm saying, a little traveling luggage, big, you know, big standalone. She don't went and hugged her mama, said back to, who is the girl with the bonnet? She ain't going, so she must be an adult or something. Or probably ain't his kid. He went to go get his child and had her locked up. Oh, the other girl is going. She looked like a teenager. She looked like she didn't want to go. She got in the car. This nigga came over here, took the kids. I swear to God, he in a gray Chevy SUV, like a mid-size SUV. She got like a Honda, like an Acura one, both silver. No, dark gray. He leaving with them kids. He pulling off. I told you he was staying for a reason. He wanted to take her fucking kids. And they still got her in the car. Watch they let her out after he done took her fucking kids. Watch. How many kids she have? Is he going getting them, and is she going to jail? Right now, she's still sitting in the car. He was still sitting in the car. He just got two girls. One of them looked like she was a teenager. The other one like she probably was about 5. He was sitting out there waiting, and I was like, well, is they waiting on CPS? I was like, well, damn, if he yelling at her, he gotta be the father. He done went, had them pack a bag, a big ass rolling bag of clothes, and left with the kids. She's still sitting in the vehicle. They ain't took her nowhere yet. Is what I'm trying to understand. Why is she still sitting in this car? Okay, the police get in their car now. But why did it take them so long to lock her up? Like, go take her. Like, a woman been sitting in the car. If you gonna take her to motherfucking jail, nigga, take her to jail. Okay, the second car that pulled up is getting ready to leave. That's 3415. Because he don't have her in his car, his SUV. But he's sitting and he ain't pulled off yet. Maybe he waiting for the other dude ending in 0038 to back out and leave. Maybe they leaving together. That's some sad shit to watch. But they remind me of the girl that was over there spazzing out. And I had to tell her, I was like, look, be careful because it was a dude she was dating and he wasn't even her kid's father. But he was over there helping her so much. He was like, he was paying her bills. He was helping take care of her kids and want her kids. He was like really, really like I thought it was his kids because you know what I'm saying, the type of arguments they would have, and then he will always be there like with her kids. Don't oh yeah, he wait for him to back out to take her. They taking her to jail. But at least they ain't told her call. That's a good thing. Cause she'll be struggling trying to get that back. This is crazy. Yeah, he took them two girls. Wow. Um, they gone now, y'all. They gone. Damn. And that had to be her apartment right there, because that's the window he went to when he pulled up. That's her apartment right there. Damn. But what was I saying? And I had to pull the girl to the side, the one that went through this before. That's crazy. I'm for real, like it literally happened while I was sitting here. Everybody gone now. But damn. I had to tell that girl because she was a little younger. It's a shame that lady had to lose her. Yeah, she in the back of the seat. So that gives him a heads up because if they with him, she what I'm saying, y'all know how that go. Wow, that's crazy how that just unfolded right there. But it was another young lady. That's why I said she don't live out here no more. But I had to tell her. I was like, look, you got to be careful with him too. I said because he, because the day she was spazzing out, it was so bad that me and another lady, we was just talking to her. Mind you, we didn't even know her. The other girl, the moment she said that wasn't her baby daddy, because the other girl had like fat kids, she was like, I can understand. I go through stuff with my baby daddy. So when the girl told her, she was like, "Oh, that he ain't that daddy." That girl looked at her. She slowly moved her way away from the situation because the way it was going down, you know what I'm saying? Though people ain't BFFs, if we see some shit go down, we gonna ride to see what's up. So he was still sitting in his car, and she was like, he need to fucking leave. Something she was going off, and I think the sight of seeing him was like re-triggering her. And I was like, bruh, can you like can you leave for a minute? Let her calm down so she can get herself together. He was like, oh, my car won't start. And I was like, okay. But it was a maintenance guy that was out here previously, and he was straight up, he was like, look, the dude, one of the dudes she was dealing with, you know what I'm saying, kept her, supplied on something. And I was like, oh, that's probably why she was spazzing out because whatever she needed, she didn't have. But what she was explaining to us, she was like that specific day, she needed to try to get her refill. Mind you, she did not have a car. Okay? She did not have a car with her kids. He had transportation. She didn't have a job no more. She had two little girls. Um, she already had her own trauma. She didn't really have no family support. So this dude was like doing everything for her, like everything. And I think his car had like so he came over there that specific day because she was like literally spazzing out talking about what he had just did to her. And I was like she was so mad she didn't even give a damn what she was saying out there. I was like, girl, did you hear what you just said? Because I heard what you said and I live over here. Listen, girl, you was yelling so hard. I had to put my coffee down and come out here and talk to you and see if you was okay. Because you live close, but you live far enough. But at the same time, girl, I don't want to hear all this about you. Like, I don't want to hear your personal, like, friend, but no neighbor. Like, if this dude got you spazzing out like this, I don't think you need to fuck him. Like in my head, this is why I wanted to tell her because she was young and she was like closer to my oldest son age. And then I realized she didn't have a mother. And then she grew up with her dad and her stepmama. So it was a lot of weird treatment and stuff that went on. And I was like, baby girl, you got some healing to do. I said, but at the same time, you got to be careful what you invite into your life, into your house. Now, okay, even with her moving, in my head, I wonder like, damn, where did she move? How was she able to afford to move? But she the type of person, she told him straight up she'd rather sell that box than deal with an end like him. I said, baby, did you just listen to what you just said? I said, so words are powerful. So listen to what you just said about this is the man that you said just finished laying up with you. You rather sell that box than be with him. Child, she was with him. That's why I was careful and how I worded things because I knew she was going to end up back with him because, you know what I'm saying, she needed him to survive. So, she ended up moving. He helped her move, whatever they got going on. But I was just hoping, like, now one thing I can say, she did not spaz out and be outside, but she was like, she was trying to call her prescription in. She needed to be able to go get it, and he had cut her phone off that day. I was like, bitch, why would he do you like that? Girl, he trying to send you to jail. Like, he was trying, like, and I'm a, listen, some dudes are not content unless your ass is in jail or on a 5150. I clap. Some will take you there. And this looked like one of them situations, in my opinion. Um, so back to the interview, and I was talking about the program. So this program, what's the name of it? I don't even know how they was able to get the funds to fund this program, because, well, I know how, because they had skilled grant writers. 9 times out of 10, the person with the PhD has the skill set, or they have a friend and they have the connections to write it the right way. So this lady was like, "Oh yeah, I don't even see. I don't know that. I should have kept the job listing." In so many words, I went to the interview, and now this is supposed to be a program that helps women that have children and provide resources, right? I'm just trying to figure out how resourceful they are, because the way that it was described, the program was described, it was like, hold on, what's the, you had to basically make cold calls. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. If I'm in the position to provide resources, and if these resources are credible, why the fuck do you expect people to make cold calls like a telemarketer? Riddle me this. How? How, Sway? Matter of fact, Healthy Families is the name of the program. The thing about the one here, it is in partnership with the city. So when you're in partnership with the city, they're not in partnership with another nonprofit. They're in partnership with a for-profit program. So when the for-profit program is able to, because see, the for-profit is going to be more stable because grants come and go. So in so many words, it's housed within the city. I was like, how the fuck is the nonprofit housed within the city? But it exists. It exists. It's a thing. So when she was like, yeah, we only start out with $42,000. Most of the time it's remote. So basically, you gonna give me folks information, sit on the line with them to see if I can provide resources to them. But this program has been around, let you tell it, for 33 years. You mean to tell me y'all don't have enough good results for a friend of a friend to tell a friend within the community how great your program is, that you have to cold call to try to get people roped back into your damn program? This the type of shit that's out here. I'm not lying. I swear for God. And I'm just sitting there like, damn, I done wasted my motherfucking clothes coming over here, gas money, time. But I had to see it. That's the thing. Certain things you have to see and pay attention to. So, again, this is why people don't open their doors and provide resources, because look at how do you have a program that's around for 33 years? Like, and that's another thing I said to her. I said, well, and this is why I already knew this is a fucking consultation. Bitch, you ain't get this job. Fuck it. Go ahead and talk to these lady and finish fucking their head up and ask the questions you gonna ask and go on about your business, girl, and get you some lunch because I had another interview after that. So, but I feel like I have to have them to get an understanding of how stupid these people are and how dumb they think I am. Now, I wrote a stellar resume for both of them. So I already know what we doing after a couple minutes. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go on. I'm already here. So what I said to her was, I said, well, if you provide these type of program, no, resources for small kids, and to me, hold up, I think I found they ended up. This is the crazy thing. They put that one up again, right? And then they took it back down. The same one I went and did the interview for, but then they went and changed it. This is how you know they doing research when they pull people in and getting um advice for free, because I didn't see this position prior to that. So now they changed the name to an early intervention clinician, and they totally revamped the job title. I ain't lying. At first, the position was at $42,000, but these people called in people that they know have have basically a well versed skill set to where they can say, oh, okay, well, nah, that ain't gonna work. Girl, what is you talking about? So that's why I said to her, I said, well, it makes sense if you like. So basically, they probably are doing away with that so-called position and that title because it makes no sense. Because like, who a program? If I had a program and my program did good, right? I had people like, oh my God, I love her program. It was so helpful. I was able to do this and I was able to do that, right? Some people don't understand it's a difference in have nonprofit partnerships versus for-profit partnerships. When you rely on the funds from a for-profit, you put yourself in a whole sunken place. That's why they supposed to be separate. So they came with this new job title, but you got to do all this other stuff and you got to meet all these qualifications, right? And not only that, the starting salary was much better than what they said at first. This is my thing. How could you let this program run amok and be so raggedy for so damn long, and then you did the switcheroo? Oh, you might be running the possibility of losing that funding at the end of this quarter, because federal the federal it resets October the 1st. So all the good opportunities come out in the first quarter. So we are entering into, so it's like the third, hold on, no, we enter into the fourth quarter. This is the fourth quarter. So you in the fourth quarter trying to use up the rest of this money. Um, and then you had to go in and bring people in, and this lady had a whole fucking PhD. So these are the two people I'm sitting in front of. And I said to them, I said, well, it would make sense if this program was inside of a program like Head Start. Because if you are providing early intervention resources for small kids, because first of all, for the grant to come out, there has to be a need. And see, I guarantee after this fourth quarter, that money is not going to be available. So it makes no sense to, like, you keep putting these bullshit ass job titles up. Y'all ain't going to spend the money, y'all can put it in y'all back pocket. Because realistically, this was put up June 10th. And then it says closing. You don't even have a closing date. Muffin. It says continuous. And not only that, it says grant funded. But anyway, I went to the motherfucking interview, girl. I just want to see, you know what I'm saying, what was going on in these streets. And so from time to time, I have to go in and, whatever. Child, this is the thing. There are so many places that are hiring, will act like they hiring. Girl, they scan your image and run your face through social media. Bitch, I talk so much shit between here and TikTok. They not gonna hire me. I already know this. And even if I've said a few things that people don't agree with, it's the fact that I have a voice and have an opinion that you can't shut me down and you can't play in my face. You can't play with me like that. Great, wet my hair down. But yeah, so now it says early intervention clinician. That wasn't the name at first. It was something else. It was like something resources. I was like, what? But anyway, needless to say, that program will probably cease to exist after this year because 33 is a powerful number. She said 30. They've been there for 33 years. It's over. Um, because you had 33 years. I've seen a lot of nonprofits. Like for instance, it's one. Um, I think it's in Norfolk, but nobody else has yet to replicate anything close to what they got going on. They provide services and help families and children that are homeless. So they provide wraparound services. They help them with shelter. They help the children with tutoring. Like they have a whole wraparound model, and they have a vast, like their board of directors is huge. Like they have realtors. They have all kind. Like it's set up. It's a nonprofit, but it's straight up nonprofit. It's not intertwined with a for profit. I told y'all motherfucking nerd, girl. No, I've studied this stuff. I was like, oh, this is another thing I said to her ass. I was like, let me fuck her up. Let me fuck her up real good. Girl, but drop the mic on this hoe before I leave because I know damn well, bitch, $42 ain't shit for the girl. So, girl, I made that 10 years ago. And then the crazy thing is they called me on the phone to tell me that's what it was. I was like, so bitch, you already like you did it to discourage me from coming. But bitch, I'm gonna go anyway because I told you I was coming at 8:30. We gonna have this motherfucking meeting. Bitch, cause for one, you ain't got no job available. And you ain't gonna forget me. Close it down. I still got the window open. So I went in further to say to her, I said, yeah, because I've written a grant similar to what this program is. Oh, you have experience with grant writing? I said, oh, just a little bit. I ain't even tell her ass a lot of it. So I was just like, a little bit. So I was playing with her. And because I, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to give her too much. Because a lot of times I won't put my last studies up there because a lot of people were like, no. But now I notice it was used to penalize people. It is being used to penalize people and keep them out of the market because those people really don't serve the market. Because if you think about it, if you have all of this education, you're better off seeing the need in the community, filling that need, and making it work. So that is another example of why the whole transition I was talking about earlier is going to be something major. But, and I know 9 times out of 10, she wrote it. And then, for one, after, if you hire somebody that knows how to obtain the funds just as well as the director of the program, they're not going to want you there. Like, how do you hire somebody that's better qualified for your program than you? That makes no sense. It's no way in hell the white lady was going to hire me. She's like, bitch, hell no. She's not going to be in here holding me accountable. See, she's not going to be in here holding me accountable for the outcomes, the objectives, and the goals of the actual program itself. It's no way in hell she's going to hold me here because at the end of the day, she already took a course in program evaluation. She going to know goddamn well we just sitting here writing this stuff and we have no intentions on serving these people. We just want to, you know what I'm saying? We need them to be dumb, deaf, and blind enough to repeat this cycle so we can keep getting this money every 5 years. We don't want her black ass here because we don't want to run the risk of losing our comfortable money. That's how that go. Girl, they ain't even sent me a fucking rejection letter. They ain't sent shit. I said, damn, normally, you know what I'm saying? Like, this woman said, this is what happens. Now, with a lot, like, this is another thing I overheard in that same program because the program that I was interviewing for, the location I went to was separate from the main building. So when I went in there, I overheard somebody in the back saying chat GPT. And I was like, okay, boom. So there are more people leaning to AI to do what they need to do than you think. So this is the thing. The type of person that would have been perfect for that scenario is a person that could have had maybe potentially had a bachelor's degree, not damn sure not a master's, maybe a bachelor's that was able to work at least a year in the setting, providing resources to people fresh out of school. You get what I'm saying? However, but you had to be green enough for them to say, hey, for you to feel like, oh my gosh, I finally made it. For one, even with the 42,000 in this economy. Two, you have to be able to rely on chat because you can't do it totally on your own. So that's the type of candidate that would have been perfect for that position. Wouldn't have been nobody like me that done raised kids and done worked in education. I don't work in special education, and I'm a PhD dropout. $42,000? No. So, and I'm cool with that. This is the thing. Generally, what would happen in the past if you write, and this has been happening for quite a while now. So you have to pass AI just to get the interview. This is what's really going on for people that are looking, because I ain't looking. I just like to get the information. I go do the research. I go sit in the trenches of a raggedy, born ass interview of people playing in your face and all of the things. I do this for y'all. I don't do that for me because the shit don't pay me. But I don't mind sharing the information. So you have to get past AI just to get the phone call, the email to come sit your hindquarters in the chair. That's what it is right now. So the most, like anything, you have to come in that way. And then you got to also remember about a year or two ago, they lowered the educational requirements for people to be able to enter in entry level positions. So you scaled it back. So people that are up here, oh bitch, we you can't come. You can't come to the party. Cool. Right? So it intentionally pushed. See, you got to remember, there was a time before they did that, before they got rid of DEI, before they scaled back their education requirements, they had sisters starting, running, and they had way more roles in those departments because realistically, think about it. When the educated sisters wrote their papers, their theses, all of them. I said theses. This, you know what I'm saying? Their theses, all of their papers. It had to go through a system to make sure you wasn't plagiarizing. My thing is this: where did that data go? It went into AI. Let's cook. So think about all the sisters that went to get an associate's. This how they been pimping the black sisters. Y'all stay with me, friends. Bachelor's, master's, PhD. Oh, think about the sisters that are specific STEM girlies. Think about how and I don't know her name, the lady that they did the movie about, that was a mathematical genius. Sisters are the blueprint. Why would I hire the blueprints? But this is the thing. Now you force the blueprint out of all of the positions, right? For the most part. For the most part. Because you got the people that are part of different associations, and that's a whole other conversation in itself because you have to pledge to another deity to get that. I ain't into that. Go off, sis. But what I'm gonna say is this plan brings it back home. Because again, how do you force the blueprint out? Because all of our information and data, for the most part, was used and helped create all of this. If you go and look, real talk, there are so many sisters that have higher levels of education than any any it's stupid. Reba ain't messing with you. No, but I'm being for real. Who do they call? But see, they mock you. It's just like the men. It's just like what the men are doing. Like, no, stay with me now. Because it's a level of greatness that can never be recreated or duplicated. Even when you see, I'm going to give you a good example. All right. Now, y'all remember, I ain't going to mention that blogger. I'm just going to say the scenario. There was a male blogger that had a large audience. He then joined another platform with a sister that had the connections. Now, granted, she had that connection and they came together, right? They ate together. They got a serious back. I'm like more than what he ever done in any of his seasons, right? His ego got in the way. And he was so caught up in him being a man and feeling like he should have had this, that, and the third, and he should have been put in a position. And he was the one that held everything afloat. Needless to say, they parted ways because that person's ego went out of control, effed up the whole program. So much so, within 2 years, he begging to come back together with that sister because it was something about that partnership with that sister that took him to another level. Money, it wasn't just like it was money. Yeah, it was money, but at the same time, he was not in a situation to manage that money. He was around here mess with them powdered donuts too. Right? He messing with powdered donuts. But with that being said, he still was able to benefit knowledge wise because it was something about the business partnerships and relationships that woman was able to walk in and work a room. You see what I'm saying? Like, whatever. But a lot of times, what happens is, and I think, and that's why I say I'm not mad at Trump. It's certain things I don't agree with and I don't like, absolutely, but that's gonna happen any other way, any other place. You have to look at how the country started and how it transitioned. realistically, there are more second generation born people that are put in better situations financially, economically, than people that have been here for 5 generations, because there was so many openings and gaps in the system. You see what I'm saying? So many openings. Like, I could come here because I was from such and such, and I can get a certain amount of money to start this business, and I ain't have to pay taxes. That's an opportunity that an American can't even get. Do Am I saying the way he does things is right? No. But sometimes you got to be extreme in leadership. Um, and I'm gonna leave that because I don't like getting into politics. I like to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he right, but if you think about it, if that's what he has to do over there in order to move that over here, so the people, and see, that was another thing that his administration was talking about. Certain positions should be merit based. For a long time, they were not merit based. You got to think about how many organizations um, show favoritism. They show favoritism to people of certain ethnicities. They show favoritism to their frat brothers, their sorority sisters, they cousin, they auntie. Um, it's just a combination of people that they favor instead of who would be a better fit for that position. And that's basically what has gone on for generation after generation. Like, I remember this teacher that I had in high school. He was associated with a fraternity. And to this day, he still works in the same education system. And he was a whole tyrant. When I tell you, like, he will make your fucking nerves bad and make you ready to fuck him up at the same time. That's the type of approach he had. And I don't know if it was because he was young and he was trying to prove, I don't know. He would like literally beat on the desk with like staplers and shit like that. Anyway, this is the funny thing. That reminds me of another consultation, aka interview I walked into. And he hid on that Zoom meeting, but I seen his black bitch ass. Dr. Ford, I seen you hoe. I said it before. Now, mind you, he holds a PhD in education, because he's always, well, from when I was in school, he was in high school. And he was just so evil. He was a girls basketball coach as well. So he, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people that didn't, I guess you could say, didn't make it in sports, but did go to school, are able to capitalize in that area. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I had a baseball coach. Now, there was something wrong with this. He was a baseball coach and he was teaching psychology. But he wasn't that bright. I digress. But needless to say, I sat in that meeting and it was a position for, what the fuck? It was a couple years ago. So during the time, that was when a lot of the kids weren't going to school. It was a lot of truancy going on at the after all that, right? So a lot of school districts struggle with trying to get back on track, especially with like the high school students, because they're like, I could see the morale like dwindling. I ain't gonna lie, because I had one graduate in 2020, and the morale was like horrible towards the end of the race. So when I look at that, I said, damn, how in the world y'all can't get back on track? So they got me on the line, girl. They got me on the line, playing in my face, acting like it's a job interview. All the while it's a consultation. Because you gotta understand when you fill it out, it's certain like letters and credentials and things. That's why I really let all that stuff expire because I don't even want to use that in this next season. Like I don't want to use any letters. I just want to be me. I don't want to, because it's like they making so much money, like they're trying to find a way to profit and keep you caught up in that same cycle. Because hell, even if you get any type of driving infraction, you can't even work in that field. So you got to have a driver's license just to do, and then to recertify for this, that, and the third. I got to pay this annually. I got to keep going to take all these courses. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not. So that's why I knew entrepreneurship was always a great way to go. And your work and your gifts will always make room for you no matter where you go. So back to them. And I said to them, I said, well, it's a lot of factors that you have to look at. It's a lot of environmental factors you have to look at when it comes to them not coming to school. This ain't just, oh, they rebelling. You got to think about what's going on in their home. And I was like, you mean to tell me y'all got all these people down to this school district and y'all act like y'all oblivious to this? Man, let me tell you something. Maybe a year, 6 months to a year later, I started seeing new positions come up, and I'm guessing they were able to secure more mental health assistance for the school district because it was beyond the school and it had got so bad. But y'all sitting here talking to me. Y'all got all the motherfucking money and resources, bitch. Y'all ain't sent me a motherfucking donation. So I told them a little bit. They had to go get the rest somewhere else. And that's another thing as it relates to going into these interviews. Just drop the bare minimum. If you read in the room and it don't seem right and they keep asking you and it sounds like they're trying to get you to solve their problems during that process, girl, Ray Charles they ass. Act like you don't know a little, you only know a little bit about a little bit. But yeah, cause like with my one of my Virginia certifications, I just let that bitch lapse. I was like, I'm not going to register to do this. I'm not registered. Like I ain't trying to be funny. Like I do advise people you know get their licenses, their certifications, stuff like that. But it's just be so much that go on. I don't even know how it happened. I had stumbled across this website to show like the violations um of people. So it ain't funny. It was this person up there that was a resident in counseling. Now, first of all, to become a resident in counseling, child, you got to do a lot. You got to do a master's program, 60 hours. You got to do a practicum. And during that residency, you have to accumulate like 20, I think it's 3,000 hours, 2,000 to 3,000 hours working with the clients in the population to what you feel like you are about to start counseling, right? It ain't funny. So not only was the person a resident in counseling, they had other certifications. It was like 2 or 3 other certifications that they already had under their belt. So the resident in counseling in itself, you have to give all this documentation to these people, proving that you've done everything, and you still have to get these hours before you become a licensed professional counselor, right? This lady risked it all. She risked it all, baby. She let it all go. So, and this is the crazy thing. When I was talking earlier about notes got her caught up. Okay, so she was working, and I forgot all about it. She was working for an agency, and she was providing in-home counseling to somebody, right? I'm just going to use an example. Say if she says she's seen this person for 9 months, right? And she wrote, I'm going to say 300 notes, right? Then she discharged the person from the program, child. Discharged them. Why am I writing it down? Because I was trying to remember how it went. It was I was because she had like 5 violations, and I was like, "Well, what this say?" It was like these long ass letters. I was like, "What this say?" Okay, so basically, say if she already had her first certification was at Jeopardy, and that was like a smaller one. The second one was at Jeopardy because of the whole note situation, right? Because it's like a violation, right? Oh no! She discharged the lady from the program. According to the lady, because she did have intellectual disabilities, but she lived with her family. So according to her family, they had only seen her like 3 times, and also the girl never um discharged herself from the program. So if she had like, I think she had like a couple other certifications, but the main one that was the most important one is the residency in counseling. I was like, bitch, that's going to be your bread and butter. You were supposed to do right by these people because, like, one thing about having regular things you got to follow, but when I was taking counseling courses, they have a whole big code of ethics, baby. They made us read the code of ethics from front to back. I said, damn, this is a lot of shit. So the girl had falsified notes. I don't even remember where her punishment was or whatever the case may be. But girlfriend had risked it all falsifying notes. Every time she wrote a note, them people made money. Then if the family and the girl is saying she never discharged, she never seen you. If you wrote 200 notes, she said you only came over to her house 245 times maybe. No, 5 times. Where was you at the other 245? So she done wrote all this stuff in. So then when that complaint comes to the counseling board, if it was billed by Medicaid, girl, they got to go pull all that back from Medicaid. And for real, even if this is how the agency operated and you worked under them and this is how y'all roll, bitch, who you think they gonna side with? They gonna hang you out to dry and say themselves. That's how the counseling game go. That's the game you gotta play until you get your LPC. Once you get your LPC and you complete all them hours, then you can like literally work for yourself. You can have clients come into your own practice. You can have your own practice and stuff like that. But that's how the game went. I said this girl, and then it was another lady that risked it all for a relationship. I remember specifically that you had to. It was a certain amount of years. I think it was at least 12 months or 2 years, something like that. That you say if you did have a client you was counseling, you need to have that time frame to where you weren't counseling them before you can go into an actual relationship. Girl, why I seen somebody up there then got their ass rolled up and their license suspended. Nonetheless, oh my god. Let me see if they got any mud shots. Let me see if let me see. Cause I'm nosy. I'm gonna check tomorrow. Cause it was a website that they used to have what's that? What's that? Hold up. Oh, this is the daily stuff. Wait a minute. Who is that? And most of the doggone charges be juveniles. Oh, this today so far. Shoplifting. What's that? Oh, shoplifting. Yeah, somebody else was shoplifting too. Concealment price after merchandise. Concealment. Yeah, that's all for today. They used to have a site where they had all the mug shots and stuff. I gotta find it. But yeah, y'all, my throat hurt. I'm talking too much. I'm finna go. It's been real, but just what I'm saying. Don't be what I'm saying dismayed about all the antics of the political stuff. Just know that that stuff is going to be turned back over to all the women that don't, the sisters that don't work hard, um, wrote all the motherfucking papers and all of that. And you ain't even have to do all that. I'm just saying if you worked hard to build something, sometimes what I'm saying, stuff gotta be reset to start it back better and stronger. That's all I'm saying. Let me get my ass out the window. I don't even normally be in the window. Girl, I can't believe I seen all that today. Mm, 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 mm. Damn. Yeah. Wait a minute. I need to fix me something to eat. I want to eat. I need to go to the store. It's too hot right now. I'm gonna go when it cool down. It was a damn website. I can't remember. I think it was. Mm, 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 mm. I'm gonna find it because it was this lady that I know. And hers was up there one time. I don't know, they might not have it anymore. Mm, oh, that ain't it. Okay, well, it's been real. I'm gonna talk to y'all again soon. I ain't gonna be a stranger. I got a lot of stuff I'm trying to organize. That ain't it. That ain't it either. I can't think of the name. It was a whole site, and like you literally, it was only a few states that you can see up there. I don't see it on. Damn, took that goddamn lady trying. I think this it. Did they put it on FB? Who was she? She got booked. Oh, that was yesterday. It'll probably show up tomorrow. Oh, okay. That might be the actual site right there. Oh, I think I found it. I think I found it. Are they getting the tea on it? How they get this information though? I'm glad my ass ain't up there. God dang. Okay, they got. So it'll probably be up there tomorrow. Oh, they ain't showing the pictures no more. Wait a minute. Oh, they ain't got the pictures up here no more. They just got their name. All right. They used to have the pictures. They don't got the pictures up there no more. Oh, they got them for all they business up there. Damn. Okay, I'm about to go for real this time. I'll talk to y'all later. I gotta go get some cold to drink.